The national champion is clad in big orange.
The pitch. Swing and a miss. That's the ball game. The national champion is clad in big orange.
At Summit and Destiny have met 7 times before. Tonight is number 8.
Tennessee Volunteers have wrapped up an SEC outright regular season title. Connect.
The SEC runs through Rocky Top. Tennessee wins the SEC regular season crown for the 2nd consecutive season.
The 1-0. Indiana, right center field. Rocks on the move. Rock get there. Tennessee walks it off. It's a mismatch. Deep range. Come on now. And don't connect. Probably Draghi this time. Indeed. New hand jam. Down the middle. Got it. The fly is high and again. And he's going to take it. Touchdown, Tennessee.
Hey, how much fun is this?
Man, Rocky Top. This is college football and it's absolute best.
All you can do is laugh, bro. All you can do is laugh. Welcome in to the Vol Fanatics Show. It is Tuesday night, a little bit later than normal, as we were all, I think, watching the crazy ending of that was the Music City Bowl. Welcome into another episode. I'm your boy Skylar, my co-host Michael. Other than the loss, how are we feeling?
We're feeling pretty good. We're almost to the new year. Can't play
Bro
with the
played a
big team.
60% freshman team, and just can't. I ain't even gonna do that. Actually, I ain't even gonna do. We're not even gonna make excuses.
No,
I mean, I didn't realize teams could get 5 timeouts and a half. Sorry, am I still going? Never mind. Go ahead, Michael.
No, you're good, man. But no, we're good. We're almost to the new year, man. Finally through this Christmas season as well. I know as far as my line of work goes,
That's right.
I am very thankful for that.
That's right.
Amazon.
Amazon.
I'm tired of being Santa and his elves.
No, that's right. Hey, quick shout out to you and all the folks that you work with, man. Y'all help make Christmas special for so many families across obviously your region, but across the nation, worldwide. So really appreciate what you do.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think a lot of people are starting to now, instead of believing Santa Claus, it's now, Amazon. So that's what it is now. But no, man, finally getting, feeling really good as far as getting over sicknesses. I know my wife is actually a little bit congested today. All this weather change going from 70 down to 30. That Tennessee weather, by the way. But no, man, everything is fantastic on this end. How about on your end?
Man, couldn't complain. Busy like crazy, even work-wise, like kind of like I know a lot of people this time of year, it's kind of weird. You don't know what day it is, but I know exactly what day it is. I had to go back to work. We had to get right back to it. Home still needed to be saved. And it's stressful, but we used to pray for times like this. So very much thankful and gonna make the hay while the sun is shining, if you know what I mean. So no,
100%, man.
Before we get into the rundown, I want to let everybody know that's tuned in. Thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to talk all about the football game here in a second. I'm going to let Michael do the rundown. But before we do that, I want to let you guys know who puts us on. And that's at the top of the screen there. It's Chris Smith Insurance. As a homeowner, Chris Smith was once let down by an insurance company. So he started his own agency right here in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, where instead of feeling like a big company is fighting against you, you'll know that your agent is fighting for you. All insurance is not equal. Trust the Chris Smith Insurance Group today. Give them a call at 865-272-3387. Again, guys, Chris and his team's not just going to find you the best rates, right? They're going to make sure you get the best coverage for the best rate. And that way, if, and especially in my line of work, we say it all the time, but if that accident happens, if your home ends up flooding or catches on fire, you don't have to sit there and constantly worry about, one, you just lost your home, but also, is insurance going to pay out? You will not have that issue with this company right here. They'll make sure that you're properly insured. Thank you, Chris, for your continued support of the Vol Fanatics Show. Michael, the rundown, dude. Obviously, we got to recap what we just watched, but what else are we talking about tonight?
Yeah, so we're going to try to keep it a little bit of a shorter episode tonight because we are getting a later start.
Impossible.
I know Skylar and I both have to get up early in the morning as well as most other people as well going back to work. But rundown, we are going to give the recap of tonight's game, give our thoughts on it, as well as kind of off-season thoughts in segment 1. Segment 2, we're going to give a brief little preview of Tennessee, Arkansas, as well as the Lady Vols versus Florida that's happening. Let's see, Lady Vols in Florida is happening on New Year's Day, and Tennessee, Arkansas happening on January the 3rd, which is Saturday. Going to give a little bit of preview of both of those. And in segment 3, we are going to give our picks for the college football playoff quarterfinals, as well as a couple of other SEC bowl games as well. As we got a bit of a loaded slate this week as far as games go. We are going to give Jake's record from this past week, which unfortunately was not very good, but Jake will not be able to join us this evening. We don't have any picks unless Skylar and I, just come up with some picks off the top of our head, which, might be better than what Jake's been doing this year.
I don't know, man. This has been a bad end of the week for me, I think. But who knows? Maybe we can come up with something. I do kind of feel good about the playoffs and my picks there, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, but let's get right into this episode. As I will give you our segment 1 sponsor, which is Optimal Asbestos Services. Optimal Asbestos Services offers detailed asbestos inspections and air quality assessments. Whether you're looking to secure your home or workplace, you can trust Optimal Asbestos Services to deliver thorough and reliable solutions. Contact Jeff Mull at 865-223-3297 for your consultation today, or go on the web at optimalasbestosservices.com. So segment 1, already mentioned it. We are going to talk a little bit about. Sorry, wrong.
No, you're good.
Going to talk
Lock
a little
in.
about.
Oh,
This
I already
game
got
right
it
here.
up there. Look at you go, big dog.
Tennessee falls to Illinois 30-28. Initial thoughts on this?
Initial thoughts is William Inge calling the plays didn't make a daggum difference. I'll tell you that right now. But even after all that, even after Tennessee's defense not forcing a single 3 and out, even after Tennessee's defense, I think only forced 2 punts, absolutely 0 turnovers the entire game. After special teams finally made an exciting play, after all that, your offense is still what cost you the win.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it was a game that Tennessee should have won, even with how bad the defense was going to be. The offense is what Tennessee relied on all season long. And offensive line looked as bad as it has all season long, at least as far as the pass blocking went. The run game was actually pretty good. Between Deshaun Bishop and Star Thomas, it was actually pretty good for the majority of the game, which we hadn't seen in the second half of the season.
Crazy how opposite that was, by the way. Remember how our running game was kind of struggling, but our pass pro was amazing?
It was completely the opposite this game.
Yeah, 100% the opposite.
Joey Aguilar was sacked 5 times, I believe, one of those being the strip sack that turned into a touchdown for Illinois.
That's 7 points right there.
Yeah, 7 points right there that Tennessee was luckily able to claw back from. But, ultimately, you can't get behind the sticks, which was Tennessee did a lot in this game, and ended up having to punt the ball, 3 or 4 different times in the ball game?
I have no idea. My head was too wrapped around the fact that we missed another field goal inside 40 yards, so now I'm pretty much on the we can get another kicker train. I don't care what the stats say. You can't make a kick. I don't care about the win, bro. The other kicker made 30-yard field goals all night long. Not going to make excuses. Here's what I'll give a ton of credit to Illinois for. The fact that they kept our offense off the field. And that was impressive. I know the time of possession may not have been that dramatic of a difference. I can't. Do you have that stat? Is it a team stat? What is it?
I mean, just
it's a team stat. I think I have it right here. Yeah, it was 35 minutes to 24 minutes. So almost an 11-minute differential there in time of possession.
Honestly, it felt like it was a lot worse than that.
It felt a lot worse than that. And I think a lot of that had to do with the fourth quarter. Just obviously we got the kickoff return, which keeps your offense off the field. And then Illinois does exactly, which I have a text pulled up the moment we returned that field goal saying that, yeah, we're about to give up a 5-minute field goal, game-winning field goal here. And, of course, they did that. I think that also bled into because honestly, the differential wasn't that dramatic until the last 5 minutes of the game. Man, I just super frustrated with the defense. So frustrated with the defense. Very frustrated with Caleb Herring. Hate to kind of center out a single guy, but that's a guy that was supposed to kind of like make a mark, I don't know, the spotlight's on you, kid. Go make a play. And I just seen a lot of no effort. And I don't know. It just frustrated the crap out of me. And defensive backs are what defensive backs have been all year.
Yeah,
aside from Colton Hood and Ty Redmond. But
I mean, another guy that really disappointed me because I was hoping that he would go out there in his final game as a Vol. He would show out. He got his first career start in tonight's game. William Wright. I mean, it was terrible. 8 to 10 yard cushions. That was Illinois and Luke Altmaier's plan the entire night was to pick on him, and boy did they. I mean, It was like every single play they're going after him, whether it be a pass downfield, whether it just be, going across the field because of all that cushion. All you had to do was lob the ball to the receiver, and he still wasn't going to get there in time for the pass to get to the receiver. So it was just first down after first down, picking on him all night long. And I hate to see him go out that way because it is a good story for him, but good story or not, I mean, you're a Division I SEC football player. You got to play better than that.
Yeah. Defensive line, just terrible. On the converse, haven't even talked about him, but probably the worst showing of the day is our offensive line. And the reason why I say that's the worst is you said it, 5 sacks given up. The amount of times the Fighting Illini only rushed 4 people and got to Joey within like 3 seconds. Embarrassing. And that's not even an offensive line that was depleted. I mean, that's like your projected starters for the next year. Just mind-boggling.
You want to know which play actually frustrated me the most, though, as far as the offensive line went?
It wasn't the one where he stepped on the foot, right? Because, I mean, that's an accident.
No.
I mean, that sucks, right?
No, this was one in the first half where Illinois actually brought pressure. But, Illinois had a good game plan, which is a game plan that has worked against Tennessee a lot this season. Teams playing a too high safety saying, all right, I'm going to give you everything underneath. I'm going to give you running the ball, but you're not going to beat me over the top. And the one time that Illinois went from that to a one high safety look, I was sitting there saying, the blitz is coming. The blitz is coming. You got to get it out quick. The blitz is coming. And what did Joey Aguilar do? He held the ball in the pocket.
Held the ball a lot
and
in the first
got
half.
sacked.
Held the ball a lot in the first half.
And I turned to my wife and I said, if I can see this on TV, then what is the offense? What is Joey Aguilar? What is the offensive coordinator looking at if I can see it and they don't react to it? Because I know they're seeing exactly what I'm seeing on TV.
Yep. I'm going to allude to it. This is not really team specific. I'm about to bash the refs here for just a second. Because it's the end of the year and I don't really care anymore. But I need answers from ESPN on how several things happened in the fourth quarter. First off being, we stopped them on a 3rd down and 3 or 4. I don't know. They ruled it. Calling the field was 4th and 1. They don't even review it. The game clock ticks down to 1 second. Fighting Illini calls a timeout to stop the clock. During that timeout, I would say a good 25 seconds into that timeout, the official goes and says, we are reviewing the play. Cool. Fine with that. Because honestly, I was feeling good. The call on the field, I'm like, look, it's kind of hard to overturn that. You already heard the rules analysts say that. So I really wasn't feeling that bad. But then how in the world does a timeout get granted back to Illinois in that situation? Because they would have not have reviewed that call had Illinois not called the timeout.
Yeah.
And a delay of game would have absolutely happened because they weren't about to run a play if Illinois doesn't call that. So that's one. I need an actual explanation on that. I know it's not going to change anything, but my God, was that just atrocious. Second thing that I needed an actual explanation on. And you've seen Josh Heupel and Inge furious on the sideline is how in the world you break a huddle with 12 guys on the field. The guy clearly runs off the field and no penalty call. I'm sorry. Doesn't make any sense at all. Like, literally need a written explanation. This is like multiple things in like the same quarter, almost the same drive, I want to say. I don't know. Mind-boggling. And then there was a third one. I don't even remember. But like those two things alone completely changes the. For instance, they had to have that timeout to do the kneeling out thing at the end of the game. If they don't have that timeout, they can't do that. They're having to rush the kicker onto the field. Everything's a lot more in time and whatnot. Like they can't just waste the time the way they did if they don't have that third timeout, which in my opinion, they shouldn't have had it. I don't know. It's also another thing, honestly, if the review comes back and they overturn the call, which didn't happen. The call was upheld, which that shouldn't even matter, honestly. I'm just trying to say, okay, well, it was a legit review. It got overturned. They missed it. Sure, Illinois gets their timeout back, and that's kind of a gutsy timeout call and hopes that that's what happens. But no, I just overall, it shouldn't have came down to that. So, like, I'm not too butthurt, even though it probably sounds like I am. We should have won this game by double digits. Defense let us down. Offense, though, the offensive line, my God. Hey, Star Thomas, though, give credit where credit's due. That boy balled in his last game.
He sure did.
As a college player. To the point where I felt bad when he came out. And then Deshaun Bishop got the touchdown after Star Thomas had, like, I don't know, the announcer sound. He said he had like all 60 of the scrimmage yards because he caught the pass and then had like 4 or 5 straight runs. And then, of course, he's gassed. So he gets subbed out. And I'm just like, man, I kind of feel bad. That dude just absolutely balled.
Mr. Bishop.
That's right. That's right. But
shout out to him, though, by the way, for going over 1,000 yards on the season.
Yeah.
Which gives Tennessee a 1,000-yard rusher for 3 straight seasons now.
Braylon Staley breaking the all-time freshman receptions record. I think he had over 70 receptions on the year, or right at it. It was very, very close. Which, to put in perspective, all right, Jalen Hyatt's Blitnikoff year, he only had like 62 receptions. So now, obviously, he had a lot more yards, a lot more touchdowns, but Braylon Staley can't really complain about how dependable he was as a wide receiver for Joey Aguilar. But yeah, Joey streak of 200 yards comes to an end as well. I think that almost hurts worse than the loss. I mean, we're talking about a record that lasted his entire collegiate career. His entire FBS career. I think it was like 36 games. And that came short tonight in a bowl game by a lot. I don't know. It's just a lot about this game hurt. I was expecting a lot more from the younger guys. Didn't really get that. But, hey, you know, it is what it is. Fighting Illini, by the way, at least offensively, I don't know if they had a single opt-out. And so credit to that team, that coaching staff.
Yeah.
They really came to ball, and they did just that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we're not going to sit here and make excuses because, I mean, Tennessee went out there and Illinois beat them on the field. Tennessee had 3, I would say probably their 3 best starters on defense all opted out. Offensively, you had really the only opt-out that you had was Chris Brazzell. So offensively, it should have been a lot better game than what you actually got. I don't have any excuses for
Chris Brazzell, great player, but in our offense shouldn't have affected that much.
No, 100%. I do have something that might be controversial. And let me just say, I was not on this train to start with, but I saw many people say, well, you know, Joey's probably not coming back next year. So are we going to see George McIntyre in this game? Do we need to see him? I've got a controversial take here. If the offense was going to play that bad, I think I would have rather seen Joey or George McIntyre than Joey Aguilar in the game.
Not in a game that you can still win. No, I disagree with that, but that's okay.
I'm just saying, if I knew going into it that the offense was going to play this bad, I would have rather seen him.
I'm going to disagree with that take as well. Coach had to have looked at how that offensive line was playing, and why would you want to throw a true freshman out there to get mauled by defensive line?
I mean, I don't disagree with that either.
So I don't know. You let Joey play. I mean, to me, Joey just deserved it. I mean,
I agree. And that's why I wasn't with everybody else as far as, well, you know, Joey's probably not going to get another year of eligibility. Let's just go ahead and play.
And we don't know that
ready
yet.
For next season.
We really don't know that yet. People are speculating just because they haven't heard anything, but we really don't know that yet. You even heard the announcers kind of allude to that, saying that that's not necessarily final. My thing is I think you want next year to be a true quarterback competition between Fajon Brandon, George McIntyre, and whoever we pick out in the portal, because we're going to have to pick somebody up in the portal, regardless if Joey stays or not. And I think if you play George McIntyre, you kind of give the fans a sense of belief that that's going to be your guy moving forward. And then it almost puts your coaching staff in a bind when Fajon comes in, this is hypothetical, by the way, but if Fajon comes in and he's just outplaying George McIntyre in spring, and then Heupel's kind of having to walk back, so I don't know. I think at the end of the day, Joey earned it. I'm thankful for him. I'm not blaming quarterback play in any way for us going 8-5 on the year. In fact, no. I would almost say Joey Aguilar is the reason why we were able to go 8-5 this year, because this
100% on the defense. I mean, you can also add in offensive line play, but the defense was the biggest reason why you went 8-4 this year. Yeah. And Clark, I agree with you. You got to go to the portal and get somebody, but here's my thing. I think you have to, at this point, just say, all right, Joey's probably not coming back.
Well, that's got to be your mentality, 100%.
Yes. So you've got to go and get somebody. If he is able to come back, then great, but then you put yourself in a bigger bind, because now you've got 4 scholarship quarterbacks.
I don't think that's a bind at all, because George McIntyre and Fajon Brandon at that point should know that they are not in the competition, if that makes sense. Shall it be Joey Aguilar comes back, regardless if we get somebody in the portal or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because it's Joey's team. I don't care what you say. But now Joey's got competition from whoever you just picked up in the portal to push Joey to be a better player. That's how everybody's got to look at this. Just like Deshaun Bishop's going to have to look at it when we go get another running back out of the portal. Deshaun Bishop is your guy, but you always got to have a guy in the room that's going to push you to be better than what you are today. And Bishop will be the first one to tell you. In fact, I think he was asked that in an interview leading up to the bowl game, and he literally said that. Like, look, if for the team to be better is to go get another running back, I'm all for it, because the team comes before I. And I love that mentality by Bishop, and I think every player on the team should have that mentality. So either way, Clark, yeah, absolutely. It's just that's the mentality you got to have as a player, non-selfish mentality. You got to go get, and at this point, Josh Heupel has no choice. You're going into year 6, and at this point, 5 losses, I would say this was a disappointing year.
At this point, yes. Because
I hate to say that based on the bowl game, but I was still hoping to get 9 wins, and you can kind of salvage, like, okay year. Let's and we made changes, but now losing like this and the defense just looking like you're making changes. Let's build some momentum, and year 6 better be good. I will say it, playoff or bust, 100%.
Yes. I'm not gonna quite go playoff or bust, but you got to at least go 9-3. And you got to look good doing it.
You don't play Florida or Georgia next year,
but you also play Texas and Texas A&M next season.
Don't care. Playoff or bust.
I mean, for Tennessee, the expectation should be playoff or bust, 100%, because Tennessee is back at that type of they're back in that position that they should be playoff or bust every single year. That should be Tennessee's expectations. I just don't know, and I'm not going to say heat up yet.
You tell me if Josh Heupel loses 5 games again next year, he's not. You telling me that statement's not true?
No, 100%. If he loses 5 games next year.
And I'm not saying he's fired, but this right here, if we are not competing for the playoff and making the playoff, I mean, I don't care. Like, it's playoff or bust, man. There's no way. You dodged 2 of your 3 biggest rivals, in my opinion, and I don't care who they're replaced with. This is the offseason where my mind's kind of completely changed. I think you see an absolute overhaul in the portal from this team. I agree. I think you see 10 plus pickups, and 7 of them better be defensively.
I think I agree with that. But here's why I'm not going to say playoff or bust yet. Because for one, you're going to be in year 1 of a new defensive coordinator.
No, come on. The clock don't reset just because you change the defensive coordinator.
2, if Joey Aguilar does not come back, you're going to have a new quarterback, whether that be somebody out of the portal or McIntyre or Faison. You can't tell me that if McIntyre or Faison are going to be your starting quarterback, that they're immediately going to be right there where Joey Aguilar was this season, where Joey Aguilar had them.
You want a not so hot take? I'll just spoil it for everybody, but Faison or McIntyre is not going to be your starting quarterback next year. So there's that.
I agree.
Okay. Then
all right. So whoever this guy out of the portal is, Tennessee has had great luck so far with guys out of the portal as far as Hendon Hooker goes. Joe Milton, he wasn't that bad. Yes, did he miss a lot of deep shots?
Joe Milton kind of suffered the same. No, Joe Milton had a good defense.
Joe Milton had a good defense. The thing that Joe Milton did not have is
passing over the middle of the field.
Well,
no, he had drops, but he could not throw the ball in the middle of the field, period.
He couldn't, but he had wide receivers who couldn't catch the ball and couldn't create space. That was part of it. Joey Aguilar, he came in, he was ready to play, and he showed it. Who's to say we're going to have that same luck for a third time out of 4 quarterbacks as far as come in there and be, playoff ready right away?
Money? I'm sorry, but if you want to win, that's what it's going to take. Like, if Tennessee wants to be serious about football, they've already made big money moves that we've given them a ton of credit for, but didn't it feel like this year we really didn't do that? Didn't it feel like we took the cheap option at quarterback? Now, granted, we had to. It was after spring.
Didn't it also feel like we didn't have to because we felt like we had the roster that could go and compete?
I disagree. Defensively, you hope Joshua Josephs was going to fill that spot at James Pierce Jr. did. We had hoped. So I guess to your point, yes, because we had hoped that we had developed people within the team. But as far as like portal pickups, other than Joey that just shined this year, and I'm talking about the portal pickups you picked up like within the cycle, right? Because I mean, obviously Chris Brazel was a portal pickup, but like 2 years ago. I don't feel like we really made that move. Am I missing one?
But to my point on this though, I feel like that it felt like Tennessee didn't have to make those moves whenever you looked at the roster that you had coming in. You ended up getting Joey Aguilar out of the portal at the end of the spring, but then you look at the rest of the offense. We didn't really know
he was going to be a good
exactly. But you look at the rest of the offense. You knew you had Deshaun Bishop coming back. You knew what you had with him. You also had Star Thomas that you were pretty sure you knew what you were going to get from him as well. You had talented receivers, granted young wide receivers that you felt pretty good about. You got Miles Kitselman coming back. No, absolutely not on DJ Lagway. Absolutely not. No, not at all. But you had Miles Kitselman, who you thought was going to be your leader on offense.
Why not DJ Lagway? Well.
Why
is that such a hard no?
I will get to that in a minute. You had an offensive line that you felt pretty decent about coming back. Granted, it was going to be young. Defensively, you looked at all the talent that you had on the defensive line, and you said, all right, look at this coach, Rodney Garner. Yeah, he's going to have them coached up, ready to go. 100%. We don't have a single stud, but we had a bunch of guys you felt confident about. You had the linebacker group led by Arion Carter that played very well this year and did exactly what you needed to. Plus, you had Ricky Gibson coming back, and you thought you were going to have Jermod McCoy coming back by the Georgia game.
Boo Carter, we thought was going to be exceptional.
Yes. So when you look at those guys right there, you didn't really feel like you had to go and get guys from the portal because you felt like you had the guys there ready to go. And defensively, especially, it just didn't happen that way.
I just think regardless, the day and age of football, when you have a team that has a mentality that they know the job is theirs and they don't have to work as hard at that point. And I'm not saying that that's what this team did, but I'm just saying as an athlete, if you know you're the guy, are you really pushing yourself that extra 10% at practice because you don't have to at that point? You're more worried about being healthy and ready to go on game day than you are actually trying to get better at the game. And I'm almost afraid that's what this team did this year.
And I think that's a part of it is I do know that Joey Aguilar said it on a couple of occasions. They didn't go hard enough in practice a lot of times. And I feel like that's the problem.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the biggest problem. All right, real quick before we move on, my thoughts on DJ Lagway. He does not have a winner's mentality. When he goes out there.
How could you on that team?
But you've got to go out there and you've got to at least try on every single play.
Hendon Hooker had a losing record at Virginia Tech the 2 years he played there. I mean, like, I don't know.
But he went out there every single time and he gave it his all. I haven't seen that from DJ Lagway. I've seen him go out there and look like he could care less about being out there on the field.
He was probably getting lied to the entire time he was there, too. I don't know. You're right, but as far as a Josh Heupel quarterback, I would take less of a passer and more of a playmaker, dynamic playmaker all day long at quarterback for Josh Heupel's offense. I don't care if you can't hit the deep post 10 times out of 10. But if you can scramble outside the pocket, extend a play, and go pick up a first down with your legs like Altmaier did tonight, I mean, god darn. That's, I think, all you could ask for in a playmaker. And I think DJ Lagway would actually fit the mold there, especially with Josh Heupel's coaching. I don't know. I'm not opposed to it. I think there's worst athletes out there on the market.
I also think that there's better fits.
There's probably better fits. Absolutely. I know people just look at the fact that he committed to Florida and we're not going to go pick up a rival player. But at the end of the day, I'm going to go get a playmaker. And I think it's a guy that's just completely different than what you got in the room right now. And I'm all about diversity. I love for him to be able to come in and maybe explain what he's seeing to a quarterback that wouldn't even think to see the field the way he would or whatever, and vice versa. I don't know. I'm not a hard no on it like you are, because at the end of the day, I'm looking for an athlete at quarterback. I'm like a baseball recruit looking for a shortstop. You know what I'm saying? Like, shortstop can play anywhere. I'm looking for a quarterback that's just an athlete. Like, you can throw the ball, yes, great, but can you also run? Can you give me a little shimmy? Can you give me a little shake? Can you just go make a play? Okay, that's what I need at quarterback for this Josh Heupel offense. I think that's when you see it thrive at its best, in my opinion.
I mean, you're not wrong on that. I'm a hard no on Lagway.
Think about it, dude. Hendon Hooker with that spin move, bro. Come on. He was a running back playing quarterback. That threw a heck of a deep ball, by the way. I'm just saying.
Hendon Hooker also had something that couldn't be taught. He had the
instincts, man.
He had the instincts, kind of like Josh Dobbs.
Yeah.
Him and Josh Dobbs, they had those same instincts.
Josh Dobbs definitely worse of a passer, but yes.
When things went wrong, that's when they were at their best. I actually saw a highlight from the
call him Jakeem Dotson.
Yeah. I saw a highlight from the Northwestern bowl game earlier today. I'm sure you remember the play where he dropped the snap at the line of scrimmage and then just proceeded to pick it up, roll out, tiptoe along the sideline, and end up diving into the end zone. Yeah, that was Josh Dobbs.
There you go.
All right. So
what are we moving on to after Tennessee drops the bowl game? Their second in a row in the Music City Bowl, I think.
It is, unfortunately. Yeah, it's at this point it's cursed. I wasn't on that train before. It is, but
it ain't cursed.
No, we've hit enough on this one right here. But let's go ahead and move on to segment 2. If you'd like to give us our segment 2 sponsor before we hit the hardwood.
I will, but I still think I'm more upset that Joey lost the 200-yard record, dude. I hate losing, but dude, Joey losing that, I think, whatever. Our next segment sponsor is brought to you by none other than P&L Business Services. We know firsthand that getting your monthly reporting, invoicing, bill pay, taxes, and other essential business services right is critical. That's why at P&L Business Services, we go beyond bookkeeping by providing you with everything you need in your back office so you can have your time back and the peace of mind to do what you love most, which is building your business. Behind every successful business is a great bookkeeper. If this is something you feel like you may need, just go online to pnlbusinessservices.com. We appreciate you and your continued support. All right.
Let's talk about the Lady Vols first because fair enough.
All right. Yep. 3 out of 4 in the Music City Bowl, North Carolina, and then we beat Nebraska. Who did we play in them?
It was Nebraska. That's the one. That's the one
Derek Barnett broke the record. And then, all right. That's all I'm talking about in the Music City Bowl. All right. Lady Vols.
Yeah, let's talk about Lady Vols first because they do play first. They play on Thursday, that game being at 2:00 Eastern against Florida. So, Lady Vols so far this season, it's been a little bit of a disappointment compared to what we thought. I mean, started off the season with that 3-point loss to NC State, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to look too much into it because that's a good NC State team, and it was your very first game of the season against a top 10 opponent. You only lost by 3 on the road. Then you had some kind of lackluster performances against some not so great competition. Got blown out against UCLA, got a big win on the road against Stanford, but then just got blown out by Louisville. It's been kind of an up and down start to the season, and I still think that everything is there for the Lady Vols moving forward, but I wonder how this team is going to gel as they get into SEC play, because I still don't feel like they've completely gelled the way that I kind of thought that they would by this point in the season.
Yeah. I 3 losses coming to ranked teams, albeit NC State's not really panned out either. I mean, they've lost 4 games. In fact, they lost the game right after beating Tennessee. So they're not really as good of a team as we were kind of hoping they'd be. You know, that top 10 preseason ranking that they had. Tennessee also like just completely blown out in their other 2 losses. Number 3 UCLA, and then of course Louisville, like you mentioned. It's time to nut up or shut up. Now, here's where I'll say for Tennessee could be a good thing for the Lady Vols. Their schedule's very friendly on the front end of the SEC slate, very not on the back end of it. So they've got some time to gel, but I don't want them to. I feel like we need to be a finished product by now. I mean, we're done with the non-conference slate. It's SEC time. You get to play Florida, Auburn, Mississippi State, Arkansas, Alabama. All 5 of those teams are not currently ranked to start your SEC slate. And then you've got Kentucky, Ole Miss in there. Not bad at all. But then you play, you play number 3 at the current time, right? Right. So right now, number 3, South Carolina, number 2, Texas, number 8, Oklahoma, 5, LSU, and number 12, Vanderbilt, all within basically the last month of your season. So you better get your wins now while you can. And then that way, if you can go 500 in those really highly ranked matchups on the back end of your SEC slate, it won't hurt as bad, and you'd still be set up for a good 3 seed. I honestly thought my expectations would be a lot higher going into this year, but I'm not seeing what I was hoping to see so far from the Lady Vols.
Yeah, I was super excited about this team coming into the year, but we also got to think, and I know this day and age in college sports, you know, we talked about with the football team, you cannot blame youth because you've got to come in, you've got to be ready to play right away. That's just the way.
Especially in basketball, man. You see freshmen playing in basketball all the time. I mean,
that's the way the game is played, and I was super excited about these freshmen. I mean, you got the Paldo twins that came in. You also got Jersey Wolf. I'm sorry. Jersey is a transfer. You got Denia Prawl as one of those incoming freshmen this year. I believe Jada Civil was another one. And then I believe, was it Lauren Hurst, if I'm not mistaken? What was the other one? I mean, you've got some very talented freshmen that you just thought were going to come in and make an impact right away. And granted, Mia Paldo, she's really started to come around a little bit. She's finally started to get in a little bit of a groove last couple of games. She's starting to really play well. Denia Prawl has had a couple of games as well, but Maya Paldo hasn't played great this season. Granted, she's not a big scorer. She's more of a contributor. She's gonna try to find the open person. Lauren Hurst really hasn't contributed a whole lot at all at the start of the season. But somebody that I've been a little bit disappointed in is Alyssa Latham so far at the beginning of the season. I was expecting her, you know, kind of coming off of a couple of injuries from last season to come in and really be that 1-2 punch down low with Z Spearman to the start of the season. And it just hadn't come to fruition so far. I mean, she's averaging 15 minutes a game and averaging 4 points a game. As far as the rebound aspect of it goes, she's got a total of 27 rebounds on the season in 11 games. That's not a good number for somebody that is, I mean, she's 6'4", if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. She's 6'2", playing a forward, but she plays bigger than she is most of the time. So that's been a little bit of a disappointment to me. But somebody who has stood out to me, though, is Janiah Barker. You know, we talked about her not too long ago, and Nia Robertson as well. When Nia Robertson gets hot from 3, there's almost nothing slowing her down. I mean, she had a game earlier this year where she hit 10 3-pointers in a game, which is a Tennessee Lady Vol single game record. She also had a game recently where I believe she hit 5 in a row. I mean, when she gets hot, she is on. But Janiah Barker is one that has really stepped up and played well. The transfer from UCLA, if I'm not mistaken. I still think there's time for this Tennessee Lady Vols team to figure things out, but they got to do it fast.
I think I agree with you. Is it in Kim Caldwell's recruiting process to look for names that end in A or ya type names?
Seems that way.
It does, don't we? We got Kanaya, we got Naya, Denaya, Maya, Alyssa, Talasia, Jada, Kanaya. It's crazy, man. I love it. Kind of gets confusing when you're talking ball, but it's all right. I'm gonna actually pivot. You kind of mentioned, Barker's been a great addition, senior transfer. But Z Spearman and Talasia Cooper, I expect a little bit more out of.
Especially Z Spearman.
Yeah, Z Spearman, the senior, very tall. I mean, 6'5", and she's a shooter too. Like, I just surprised that we haven't seen as much out of her. Thought we really see a step in the right direction. I mean, she really was clicking at the end of the year last year. Thought that would transition nicely into this year.
It just hasn't so far.
I wonder, because I think her and Ruby were really good teammates, maybe even friends off the court. Wonder if like the stuff off season kind of bled over and maybe that's affected her in a little bit. Obviously, Ruby's no longer with the team. I don't know, but I really was expecting to see a little bit more out of Z Spearman, and then Talasia Cooper. I really would have thought would have been contending for your leading scorer in the SEC, and just not. I mean, not even your leading scorer on the team right now. Don't know what's going on there. I would love to see it change, turn around, and maybe it will. But maybe that's just a testament to the team not clicking right now. I mean, again, we said this last year. This team's really, really good when they play fast and in control. But right now, this year, it seems they're never in control. Like, I feel like they're always constantly playing faster than their means. And at that point, it just looks like a lot of sloppy basketball. And that's what honestly has had me really down on like my expectations as far as this year goes, is because every time I've watched them play, even in wins, they just turn the ball over a lot. They get steals, but they miss the layup. I don't know, just completely out of control. And I'd love to see them dial it back and get control.
Yeah, to your point, I've got the stats pulled up here. So this Kim Caldwell defensive pressure is built on Tennessee turning other teams over. But to do that, you got to make sure that you take care of the ball as well. Tennessee this season has forced 257 turnovers for their opponents, which is great through 11 games. That is a fantastic number. But on the flip side, you've turned the ball over 172 times yourself. That's not a good number. You have gotten 148 steals on the season, and your opponents have 78. So 148 steals, you force 257 turnovers, but then you've turned the ball over 172 times yourself. Now let's look at the assist numbers, which is the exact same as the number of turnovers that you have on the season. That's not good at all. Yep. So Tennessee has got to start playing under control. They've got to start taking care of the ball, and when they start doing that while still forcing the turnovers on the other side of the ball, then I think we're going to really start seeing Tennessee click, and they're going to start upsetting some teams.
And can't compare this team to last year's team, and especially the start, because the non-conference slate that they had last year was really not that great. This year they've had some tests that you would expect to win a few. Obviously this year just didn't win a single ranked matchup that you played in the non-con. But I'm looking at the standings right now as it sits. SEC in the non-conference, the top 9 teams in the SEC right now in women's basketball have a combined 4 losses in the SEC. Tennessee already has 3. So they're going to have to buckle up. The competition is very stiff as it is every year. But if they don't gel here quickly, it could be a long season for the Lady Vols.
Yeah. But as you mentioned, should be a pretty good matchup for Tennessee against Florida in the opening game of SEC play.
12-3 sits Florida currently. So they played a lot more games than we have. I don't know what's going on. Like every team, it seems like played 15 something games and we've only played 11. So I don't know if we had some cancel or if we were in a tournament, got put out early. I don't know what's going on. Why did we only play 11 non-conference games? Do you know?
I do not know that.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, Arkansas has played 15.
It could have just been one of those things where Tennessee decided to go with the quality of opponent instead of the quantity of opponents.
Sure.
That could be the case.
I mean, A&M's only played 9 teams. So, I mean, they're 7-2 currently. I don't know, but it seems like every other team has played 14 or 15 games. But yeah, to your point, maybe that is what it was. I mean, it does feel like we've had a very big, long lull in basketball season. I know it's obviously the holidays, but it does feel like it's been a week or two since we've seen a game, and usually you see 2 or 3 games a week. So, or 2 games a week, I guess. But no, right on. Yeah,
but
big matchup against Florida. Obviously, they've lost to, they've lost to Navy by 15 points, and they've lost to Virginia Tech by 4 points, and then they've lost to Tulsa by, it looks like, 7 points. So they're not by any means a tall task. I think Tennessee has a good chance here.
Yeah, but once again, this game is on New Year's Day. It is at 2:00 Eastern time. It will be on SEC Network Plus. Of course, you can listen to Brian Rice on the Sports Animal app as well. If you do not have SEC Network Plus, I definitely recommend, if you do not have the SEC Network Plus, the ESPN Plus, whatever it is now, that you do download the Sports Animal app. That way you can listen to Brian Rice. He's a fantastic play-by-play guy. He does a fantastic job, especially considering how fast Tennessee plays. He's got to stay on his toes the entire game. So we'll go ahead and move on to the men's side of things, where they will be playing against Arkansas. This game is on Saturday. I believe that game is at 3 Eastern. Let me get that pulled up here. Yep, it is at 3 Eastern. That's going to be on ESPN2. That will be in Fayetteville, Arkansas. So Tennessee going up against Coach Cal again. Arkansas ranked 18th as of right now. Tennessee is at 19th. So a top 20 matchup for the Vols. And what are your thoughts on the Vols so far in the first half of the season?
I think they're a lot like last year's team. They just look a lot different. I think they get up for the big games and they will get bitten by some of the smaller opponents. It's mind-boggling. I mean, they go and they knock off Goliath, right? Number 3 Houston. They get payback for that Elite 8 matchup, or pending matchup. No, it was the Elite 8 matchup.
Yeah.
And then you lose 3 in a row to Kansas, Syracuse, and Illinois. Illinois was pretty much non-competitive. But then you turn around, very next game, you beat Louisville, and beat them handedly.
Yeah,
Like,
you don't just beat them. You dominate Louisville.
It wasn't even close. And then they're posting up back-to-back 90-plus points at this point because what they're doing is it South Carolina State? It's crazy. It's just a filler game, get warmed up, and get ready to play Coach Cal. But here's where I'm nervous, man. I think if we can bleed into feeding the bigs, that needs to be our bread and butter. Our game plan this year better be to absolutely feed our bigs. What that looks like if y'all were sleeping over the offseason, we picked up Jalen Carey from Vanderbilt, certified dog.
Mm-hmm.
We have JP Estrella healthy. I would love to say Cade Phillips, but he just got banged up and is out for the year. But that's okay. We still have who's the other big that we've been? Felix Okpara. Felix Okpara, JP Estrella, and Jalen Carey. Though that needs to be your in the paint offense primary. And then I know Nate Amit's here and he's amazing. He's a great player. Jacoby Gillespie's doing great things. But I feel like when you force them to be scorers, it puts a lot of pressure on those guys. But man, they can really feed on it when you can draw everybody into the bigs, pass it out, and get them so much easier looks. And then that way, it just feeds the jumper that much better. But I'm not a huge basketball guy, but from what I've watched, especially the dominant performance against Louisville, we were just the more physically. We usually are. I mean, everybody always jokes about how we basically fight the opponent, or we're a football team playing basketball, and everybody's leaving bloody noses and good. I mean, honestly, like that, I don't care. We need to feed the bigs. Let Jacoby and Amit feed off of that, and I'm kind of excited to see it. Michael, what are your thoughts on the team this year?
So I think you said the exact reason why I'm going to disagree a little bit with your statement. You said that you think this is a team similar to last year. They're going to get up for the big games. They're going to lose a game or two to an opponent that they shouldn't. And maybe that's the case. But I think those 3 losses that Tennessee had in a row, they were just going through an identity crisis. Because at that point in the season, you had guys like Jacoby Gillespie, Nate Ament that were, hitting shot after shot. So you were trying to play through them. You went through a bit of an identity crisis against Kansas. Granted, they were also just completely worn out. They played 2 very physical games in a row, especially that game against Houston, 3 days back to back to back. And by that time, they were just exhausted against Kansas.
Probably a little ticked off they weren't in the championship game, too.
That as well, because of the situation and all that happened. Then came the Syracuse game. That was just one where you were literally relying on Nate Ament and Jacoby Gillespie, and they just couldn't hit a shot to save their lives that night. Then came the Illinois trouncing. And I think they realized at that point, okay, we've got to change what we're doing. Something is not working. And that's when they realized they needed to start playing inside out. And since that time, I think this team has found its identity, and they are playing with a purpose now. I think that's the team we're going to see going forward. You're going to see that team that they're going to work inside out. They're going to get the post involved because you've got to. When you've got guys like, Felix Okpara and coming back off of the season he had last year, he's improved as well. He's finally started to show up a little bit over the last couple of games because we talked a little bit about it off air. We were disappointed in Felix Okpara at the start of the season. He's really started to come around. You've got a healthy JP Estrella out there now as well. You've got Jalen Carey, who you've mentioned it is an absolute dog. I mean, you've got Vanderbilt fans that are out there saying,
he won't be missed.
Yeah, he won't be missed. We're glad that he's gone. Yeah, nobody's talking about that now because Jalen Carey, he might be the best post player that Tennessee has overall just because of what he brings. And then Dwayne Brown, true freshman. Nobody is going to benefit more from Cade Phillips going down than Dwayne Brown. He is just going to step into that spot, and he's going to be that dude. And guys that are going to be playing all-around positions between post and wing players, Amari Evans, who I'm watching right now, just take over a ball game. He's going to be good, man. He's still raw.
Not going to put a ton of stock on what he's doing to the team that he's playing.
But
he can build some confidence, right?
He's also done it against a couple other teams, including against Louisville as well, that I think is going to roll over into SEC play. But no, you're right. I mean, don't take a whole lot of stock into this game against South Carolina State either. But Amari Evans is a guy that's really going to be relied upon down the stretch as a key role player. But,
here's some stock you can put in. Bishop Boswell. Haven't really talked about him too much.
Bishop Boswell is that guy.
Could very likely be in the running of Defensive Player of the Year.
Not just in the conference.
Yeah, I mean, so if you're a little worried about losing a guy like Zakai or I'm blanking. Gosh, why am I blanking? Please help me here.
Jemai Meshack.
Thank you, Meshack.
That's my guy.
Dude, I was literally envisioning him draining the half-court shot. I'm like, why am I blanking on the name? But Meshack, and you're losing those defensive just absolute warriors. I think we got a guy that's stepping up just right for that role. And he's getting a lot of buzz around the nation. Just the way he played against Houston alone. And then what he's been able to carry that towards. If you don't know what I'm talking about, highly encourage you to rewatch the Houston game. My goodness.
By the way, Tennessee 105, South Carolina State 54, the final. Tennessee set a new program record, their 44th straight non-conference home win with this one tonight.
There it is. You got to protect the home court.
100%.
Big win. But yeah.
I mean, we talked about the post players, but man, when you go inside out the way you are, it's opening things up for guys like Jacoby Gillespie, who has just been going off this season since game one. Nate Ament, he's still coming around. He's a streaky shooter, but when he's on,
they're trying to ask him to be more physical, right? Like going up a little stronger, right? Because I do feel like he kind of goes up a little weak. Doesn't like the contact, but I feel like he's growing into it. And whenever he can get comfortable taking on that contact, he will be dangerous.
Yeah, 100%. But it opens things up for guys like Amari Abram as well, who is if you let him get set, that dude is a 3-point specialist. I mean, on the season this year, this doesn't look necessarily super impressive, but before tonight's game, 10 of 27 from 3, that's still good for almost 40% from the 3-point line. Bishop Boswell, by the way, is shooting over 50%.
Yeah.
from the
Well,
3-point line.
he gets to the rim very well. I mean, Bishop
does.
Boswell really does. Here's a name that I'm gonna throw out that honestly is getting a lot of playing time, but I don't like. I need you and your basketball mind to kind of explain why. But Ethan Berg for this Tennessee
So-
team, I feel like he's always on the court. Not really a bad player, but I don't think he really takes over anything either way. But explain kind of a little bit about his game and what Rick Barnes sees in him.
Yeah, so Ethan Berg, he played professional ball overseas for Israel, ended up coming to Tennessee. He is listed as a sophomore right now. Um, he's a guy that is very talented, but he's very raw as well. Got a lot more playing time in the first couple of games of the season than he is right now, just because there are other guys that are kind of ahead of him. He is a guy that's going to go out there and he's going to give you everything that he's got whenever he's on the court. He does have a bit of a turnover problem. He's a very in-your-face defender, but he gets beat off the dribble some. But he's another one of those guys that if you let him get set, he's going to knock down a three-pointer. He is, I believe,
40%.
I was going to say, I believe he is 8 of 17 on the season from 3. So, I mean, just let him get set. He's going to knock down. But he's going to be a guy that in the next year or two, I think he's going to be kind of like Santiago Vescovi as far as what he's going to bring on the court each and every time. But that's a guy that's definitely going to get some playing time, and he's going to make a difference on the court whenever he's out there. But another guy that I'm liking what I'm seeing, I've already mentioned Amari Evans, but a guy that I'm really liking what I'm seeing is Troy Henderson. You know, he's coming in there kind of in that backup point guard, backup shooting guard type role. And he's not going to wow you with his shooting right now, but he's going to go out there and just be that key role player that you need. Kind of like Meshack was at the beginning of his career in his freshman and sophomore season. He's just going to go out there and do whatever you ask him to. And then the last guy that I really have notes on is Clarence Masamba. He's a guy that, you know, he's the overseas guy that they got from Paris, France.
Yep.
Yeah, he's an athlete, that's for sure. He's really gotten a lot more playing time over the last couple of games. I don't expect to see him much during the SEC play. He's just going to kind of come in as a guy that's going to fill maybe a minute or two until they get some of their other guys back in. But he's got all the talent in the world that once he starts to really come around as a Division I college basketball player, he's going to be a guy to watch out for. But this might be Rick Barnes' deepest squad that he has ever had. And it might be the overall best squad. You know, you've had some really good players on a lot of squads. I mean, namely the Admiral, Grant Williams, Jordan Bone, Kyle Alexander, that group right there. That was a very talented squad, but they weren't super deep. This, in my opinion, is the deepest, most talented squad that Rick Barnes has had. Now, I'm not going out there and saying that Tennessee is going to go and win a national title, because there's still a lot of work that's got to be done for that. But this could be, as long as they keep playing the way that they have the last couple of games dating back to the Louisville game, this could be a squad that could make some noise deep into the tournament.
That's what I like to hear. Well, alrighty. They do open up SEC play again against Arkansas. That is January 3rd, 3 o'clock on the ESPN2. Obviously, Calipari, Arkansas, they're a solid team this year. No surprise in my opinion there. As of right now, ESPN matchup predictors giving Tennessee a 52.5% chance to win. So basically a pick'em game. But Arkansas's got some dudes. It looks like they're led by what's his first? Darius Acuff Jr. Maybe. He's a guard. He's a freshman. But leading the team in points with 18.5 points per game, shooting almost 50% from the field. They'll have their hands full with this guy as he scores in bunches. His last few games, he scored 18, 20, 23, 27. and 17 against JMU, where he likely came out early because they beat the brakes off of him. So I don't know. What are your initial thoughts of Arkansas in this matchup here?
I mean, Arkansas is going to be a very tough matchup. You mentioned Darius Acuff Jr., Malik Thomas is a really good guard as well. Guy that stands out to me is Trayvon Brazile. He's been there. I believe this is his second season.
He gets a lot of rebounds.
Yeah, transferred from Kentucky whenever Calipari came down there. Very talented player. DJ Wagner is a guy that really gave Tennessee fits last year as well. Excuse me. And then you got Nick Pringle off the bench that's going to come out there, and he's going to just body anybody that he needs to as well. You're going to see a very physical Arkansas team, a team that if you give them space, they're going to knock down jumpers. I mean, you look at Darius Acuff, he is shooting 44.3% from three on the year. Malik Thomas shooting at 35.6. Trayvon Brazile, 43.2. Carter Knox shooting almost 50% for the season from the three-point line. And then even a guy like DJ Wagner off the bench shooting 40% for the season from the three-point line. So you let them get hot, especially on their home court. It could be a long night for you, but it's also a team that they don't shoot particularly well from the free throw line, which Tennessee is not either to start off the season.
Tennessee's terrible. But I think that's because of the inside-out play that you see, though, is a lot of the fouls that are occurring to Tennessee are happening to the bigs, and typically not as good of a shooter. But you should still make free throws. There's no reason behind it.
Yeah.
But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is going to be a game that's just going to come down to who's going to play more physical. As when you look at the points per game, Arkansas beats Tennessee there, but Tennessee also allows less points per game than Arkansas does. Field goal percentage right there about the same. Tennessee does slightly out-rebound Arkansas on the season. I mean, it's going to come down to who has the better game, who's going to play their game. And I think if Tennessee plays the game that they have over the last couple of games, we could see them go into Bud Walton Arena and come out with a big victory. But it's going to be a close, tightly contested game. It's not going to be like last season's game whenever Tennessee just manhandled Arkansas and Jonas Adu in that opening game of SEC play. It's going to be a totally different type game.
Right. I mean, if we're looking at common opponents, Houston – Arkansas did play Houston actually just recently. Lost by 9 points, 94-85. They did beat 16th ranked Texas Tech earlier in the year. And then they lost to Duke by 9 points. Duke's a really solid team. They did beat Louisville, by the way, by 9 points. So another common opponent there. They did lose to Michigan State earlier, or their second game of the year. Here's something that's kind of confusing, but you kind of alluded to it. And maybe this is just a possession thing. Arkansas's defense, no doubt, they give up a lot of points, but they also can still generate a lot of blocks and steals in the game. They actually average just slightly more steals per game than Tennessee, and almost a whole block per game over Tennessee. So something to look ahead for Tennessee. I think Tennessee's going to muddy the water in every game they're going to play in. So I don't see this necessarily being a high-scoring shootout affair. But I definitely see this being like a mid-70s affair here, and I'm hoping that the good guys win.
Yeah, I don't think – I'm trying to look it up real quick. I don't think that there is a line on Action 247 for this game yet. There is not. But if I had to –
think there's a line on ESPN, is there?
Probably not. Normally college basketball, it comes out like the day before.
Yeah.
If I was to put a line on this game, I would say probably Tennessee minus 2.5. I would say that the total for this game, somewhere around 145 points is what I would say.
They'll probably make it 150 or 149.5. And then with Tennessee being a 52% chance of winning, they probably will have Tennessee slightly favored by 1.5 or 2.5 points, whatever. So I think you're right in line there. It's going to be a close one, a good wake-up call to the SEC slate, and what a good start it could be for either of these teams that can come out with the win here.
Yeah, 100%, man. But it's definitely time to get on the hardwood. I mean, we've gotten off the gridiron now.
I know you've been waiting.
I have been, but you know what else we have? It's 45 days until Tennessee baseball hits the field, man.
Which means it's only like 60-ish days till spring football. Man, I cannot wait, dude. Let's go. Excited.
But let's go ahead. Season. 100%. Um,
I'm just trying to rain on your parade, bro. I know you're excited
I
about
know.
basketball. Hey, you want some good news from me? Okay. It may be a surprise to a lot of folks, but I'm actually a big dirt bike guy. Motocross, in fact, I don't know if y'all can see it. Yeah, maybe if I move the head the other way. There we go. That number 1 plate right there. Supercross comes back in like a week and a half, so I'm kind of excited. I got a new season to look forward to. All right, that's all I was getting at. So, anyways, what's coming up next? I know we got some games to pick.
Now, let's go ahead. Let's get to our last segment of the night. It is going to be picking bowl games, picking quarterfinal playoff games as well. But before we do that, I will give you our segment 3 sponsor, which is Kaizen Painting. Do you want a colorful life? Kaizen is a painting and drywall company that provides residential, commercial, exterior, and interior services. At Kaizen Painting, we understand the importance of a beautifully painted home and properly installed and repaired drywall. We're here to bring your vision to life. We care about providing you with a personalized, efficient, and quality service. If you live in Knoxville and surroundings, contact us for a free estimate at KaizenPainting.com. Color your life the Kaizen way. So, we got some bowl picks. We got some CFP picks. We're starting it off. This is tomorrow at noon Eastern. Is Iowa going up against Vanderbilt? This is the ReliaQuest Bowl. Is that correct?
It is the which bowl game is it? I'm so sorry.
Is it the ReliaQuest? Is that right?
Vanderbilt. I can't find it on my list here. What in the world?
Yes, it's the ReliaQuest Bowl. So this one is tomorrow, 12 Eastern, ESPN. Vanderbilt, according to
ReliaQuest,
Action 247, is a 5.5 point favorite. What say you, Iowa and Vanderbilt?
Part of me wants to pick Iowa because SEC's kind of crapped the bed in SEC or bowl games, and you'll hear every single Big Ten fan chant, "Can't hang with the Big Ten," even after they spend the whole season saying that their fans don't come together and chant Big Ten like the SEC does, and yet they do. Like it's kind of weird.
They do, especially.
Yeah. No, exactly. Like it's actually mind-boggling. We'll never cheer for Michigan, but if Michigan beats Texas, by the way, you'll see so many Big Ten fans. Oh, SEC can't hang. Yeah, whatever, dude. What am I feeling for this game? I think Vanderbilt gets it done, man. I think Iowa's just not got enough offense. I think their defense is good, but Diego Pavia in his last game at Vanderbilt, I think he's going to show up, show out like he pretty much has all year. And then that way he can give the double bird to all the haters and the voters and sing Kumbaya as his collegiate career is over. That's what I think. I don't know. We'll see how it happens, but
if it was any other team, then I would pick whoever it is that Vanderbilt plays just because I hate picking Vanderbilt. I absolutely hate picking them.
Today. All right.
Because we're going to be hearing all this about, little brother over there getting beat by Illinois. Vanderbilt, you're still little brother. One season does not mean anything.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Illinois honestly probably could have been just as easily ranked as Iowa. I'm not sure. I don't know if Iowa beat Illinois in the regular season, but they're both 8-4 in the Big Ten, and one's ranked and one's not. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not worried about that discussion. I'm just saying here in this situation, I think Vanderbilt's just a better team, period.
If it was
I thought Tennessee was a better team than Illinois, but
if it was any other team, and Iowa and Illinois did not play in the regular season.
Yeah, so I don't know why one's ranked and one's not.
But if it was any other team that Vanderbilt was playing, I would probably pick them, but this is Iowa, and Vanderbilt's going to win this game. So next game on the slate, since we're both picking Vanderbilt, it is going to be that Michigan-Texas game. This is tomorrow at 3 Eastern. Texas, a 7.5 point favorite according to Action 247.
Actually super confident in this bet because I had a 6-leg parlay that I could have cashed out before Tennessee played, but my final 2 legs were Tennessee and Texas. I knew my parlay wasn't going to hit. Just turns out it was because Tennessee couldn't hold up the money line bet. I didn't even take Tennessee to cover, but that's okay. So now I am fully confident Texas is going to win and probably even cover this spread. Give me the Longhorns. Bryce Underwood of Michigan is going to be good, but just not enough for Arch Manning.
I'm going to take Texas as well in this one, not necessarily just because of the matchup, but where is Michigan's heads at right now?
My point actually had nothing to do with the matchup. I think it had everything to do with my betting history. So Yeah.
That too. Yeah.
No, I agree with you. But yes, there's so much behind the scenes happening in Michigan that, quite frankly, I don't even know if they know. Like,
Yeah, 100%. They
by the way,
don't
the
know
story
what
of
all's going on.
Jerome Moore, I just ask you to go look it up. I'm not going to bring that garbage onto this podcast. It is crazy what has happened at that university in the last month or two. And like, let's not act like we didn't just have like the sign stealing scandal. I mean, was it John or Jim? I always confuse the two. It was Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh.
Because John's been in the NFL the whole time. So Jim Harbaugh, masterclass of a job. I literally told you on this podcast, Michigan sold their soul for that championship.
We didn't realize how right
has
we
it
were.
not played out exactly like that? I mean, what else could go wrong? And what's crazy is they didn't even have a terrible year this year. They're 9-3. Last year they were 6-6. Like, they didn't even have a terrible year this year, and yet, man, it feels like they just it feels like they went over. I don't know. It's weird.
And how do you feel about Kyle Whittingham? He announces that he's retiring from Utah, and then it's like 3 weeks later, now he's Michigan's head coach.
I know I'm going to be wrong, but that's part of our business, right? That's why we talk on. I think the guy did it for a money grab. I don't think he's going to work out at Michigan. I think he knew he still had stock left. Michigan didn't have really anywhere else to turn. He took it. I'm sure he's not even going to make it the 5 years, and he's going to be peace out. Did you hear? This is how I know he ain't going to make it. There was a comment made. There was a comment made to Kyle Whittingham, like, do you hate Ohio State now? Or do you hate Ohio State, period? And he said, well, I guess I do now. That ain't the right answer, buddy. Like,
no.
You hate Ohio State before you even think about taking the Michigan job if you're the right guy for the Michigan head coach. And I just don't think it's a good fit. I really don't. He's an older guy. I don't think that's going to affect his coaching. I think he's a great coach. I just genuinely think, like, especially with you mentioning that he was going to retire at Utah, I think he did it as a money grab. Get a little bit of extra juice. Like,
the guy is 66 years old.
He's not even, I mean, in my opinion, that's not even that old. Like, in my opinion.
When you look at some of the other coaches that have coached in college football, I mean, you're right. He's still got probably 6-7 years left.
Nick Saban did it for, I don't know. How old's Nick Saban? He's in the 70s. What? Yeah.
Something like that. 74.
I mean, he's still got another 6-7 years. 6-7 years of coaching before even anyways, I'm just pissed off myself for doing that. But
I wonder where everybody's head's at with that, though, because I don't know if you saw, but the introductory press conference where they brought Kyle Whittingham out, the athletic director didn't even shake his hand. He brought the helmet out. They got a picture there. I mean, you can see Whittingham reach out his hand to shake it, and athletic director just walks off.
But as the athletic director, that's like the 13th call you made, bro. Like that's not the guy you wanted. They absolutely settled. I don't know how the athletic director at Michigan's still at Michigan, though, if we're being 100% honest. It should have been kind of like an LSU thing where they just completely clean slate, because what has happened with Michigan's athletic department in the last 2 years might be some of the worst crap I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I don't know how the guy still has his job. So he probably won't after this coaching, because they just threw this, I don't know, $80 million 5-year bag at this guy, and it's probably not going to work out. I think it was literally a cash grab, which kudos to him. And if he makes it work, he makes it work. I don't really have hate towards the guy. Like, I'm not wishing him to be bad. You asked me my opinion on it. I think that's what it is. I think that's exactly what it was.
Yeah. All right. Next game.
Which is exactly why they'll beat Texas in the bowl game.
Probably.
Yeah.
Especially since both of us are picking Texas.
Yeah.
But
100%.
anyway, next game, it is Ohio State going up against Miami. This game is the Goodyear Cotton Bowl. Ohio State in this one, 9.5 point favorite. And you're holding up the U.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, Ohio State by 1 million.
All right, so I got a question. Do you want to pick this game straight up or pick it by the spread?
I'll pick it by the spread. Ohio State covers.
Ohio State wins, Miami covers.
That's fine.
I think Miami scores a late touchdown in this game. that keeps it within
That's
that
so
9.5
garbage.
rate.
If that happens,
I really think
within
they
the
do.
final 3 minutes of the game, it don't count. As long as we agree to it now, that is garbage.
No,
I mean,
I think that Miami covers, but Ohio State wins this game.
I mean, I just don't see the trends of the bye week teams losing the first round. I say the first round, their first game, the quarterfinals. I don't see that being much of a thing much longer, and I think Ohio State gets the win.
And see, I wasn't thinking much along those lines as much as I was that Miami has surprised me this year multiple times, and I feel like
You're giving Miami way too much credit for that A&M win.
I probably am.
You really are. You need to relook at how bad A&M was playing before you give Miami too much credit.
Yeah, I probably am, but I've just got a sneaking suspicion in this game
Fair enough.
that Miami is going to keep it closer than it should be.
I'm for it because Miami, in my opinion, shouldn't even been in the playoffs. So the fact that they can make a run, sure, chaos, dude, into the playoffs. Let's go. And also, not that I don't really have beef against Ohio State. I hate the way they beat us like a drum. I don't really like Ohio State, but it's more of a friendly, my father and I banter. He's all good fun, and he honestly didn't rub it in my face that bad last year, so I almost have a little bit of sympathy. But it's more of like I just don't like to see the brands keep winning, like Alabama's, your Ohio State's, your Georgia's.
I agree.
Like I'm tired of seeing in the world that we're saying NIL is giving more teams a chance, but okay, cool. Then why are the same teams still winning, dude? So it's like I'm almost ready for a new wave of just different. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
be nice to see it.
I feel the same there, but I also kind of find myself rooting for Ohio State some because of the relationship that we have with Eric and Chris, that crew from the OHIO podcast.
No. See, I'm not gonna go that far. You can. No, I'm joking. But yeah, I mean, I have zero reason to root for Miami. I guess is the point I'm trying to make. I don't really have a reason to root for Ohio State.
I'm not going to root for Miami. I just something tells me this is going to be a closer game than it should be.
Here's what I want for viewing purposes and for the reason why I picked. I want this game to be like a 4 or 5 point game the entire time, and then it's Ohio State that gets the final touchdown with the last
which very well could happen.
That covers, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, give me Ohio State 24-14, baby. Let's go.
Very well could happen.
Yeah, give me that.
Next game, this is on New Year's Day. We've got Oregon going up against Texas Tech.
I like this matchup a lot.
Capital One Orange Bowl. This is likely to be the best game of the day.
I like this matchup a lot because I truthfully don't see either one of these teams as the championship team. But I think these two teams are so equally matched. Give me Texas Tech.
I'm also taking Texas Tech in this one.
No way! I did not think you would take Texas Tech.
You got to remember, I've been riding Texas Tech all season long.
Yeah, but you also know that I picked Tech to make the Final Four 3 weeks ago. So
you got to remember that I had Texas Tech winning the whole dang thing.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. Now I think Oregon's winning. No, it's fine. Give me Tech.
No,
to cover or not? No, I'm joking. We ain't doing that.
We ain't doing that one. Not with this close one.
2.5 points.
But no, I think that Texas Tech wins this game. It's going to be very close. I think Texas Tech's going to get a stop towards the end of the game that is going to give them the win.
Yeah, the defense is going to win it, right? 100%.
Yeah, 100%. In a game where both offenses are good, defenses are also solid as well. Defense is going to win it. Next game, it is going to be Alabama going up against Indiana. This is the Rose Bowl at 4 Eastern on ESPN. Indiana is 6.5 point favorite in this one.
This has all the potential in the world to steal all the spotlights from every other team as far as however this outcome goes. Or this has all the potential in the world to make me want to ride Indiana all the way to the championship game. So with that being said, I think it's impossible to go undefeated in this day and age. Give me Alabama, and they actually rush for positive yards in the first half.
Positive yards in the first half. That's
a bold take, actually.
That could be something. Yeah,
that's a bold take.
That might be a best bet.
I don't know. But it's a bold take. All right. The last 2 games, it's actually been -6 combined in the first half. So, yeah, I'm going to go with positive rushing yards in the first half, and thus give them or maybe not. Maybe they don't need positive yards in the first half. No, they do because they got beat like a drum against Georgia. Yeah, I don't know why. I just think it's impossible to go undefeated. And Indiana's had some of the best. They've had the best wins in the year. I think they beat Oregon and they beat Ohio State this year alone.
Yeah.
It's got to end at some point. I don't think it's possible for a team to go undefeated. I really don't.
I agree with you on that part.
But not for Alabama.
here's what I'll say. Alabama impressed me against Oklahoma because of the way they were able to make adjustments in that game, in-game adjustments.
100%. Down 17.
That's something that I so badly wish Tennessee could do because we have not seen that under Heupel yet. Making in-game adjustments.
Jim Knowles will get that done.
I hope so because Alabama adjusted on the fly.
Yep.
And it worked for them.
Yeah. Tennessee, to your point, they game plan a whole week saying this is what we're going to do. And then when it don't work, that first drive or that first quarter or that first half, we don't go in the locker room and say, all right, we need to change everything. No, it's like, okay, we're just not executing on what we were game planning for. So, yeah, I agree with that 100%. Here's what I think gives me a lot of confidence that Indiana will actually pull it off is the fact that Alabama has done enough to save Kalen DeBoer's job.
Yeah.
Which means how motivated are they even going to be for this game? Because I felt like that second half against Oklahoma, or really the final three quarters against Oklahoma, that was a desperate Alabama team willing to do whatever it took to win the game for their head coach. They don't necessarily have to have that now, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I know that sounds crazy because, like, well, they made the playoff. That should have been no. Like, if they would have got beat by Oklahoma again 3 times in 13 months by Oklahoma, like, absolutely that seat would have been hot as crap for Kalen DeBoer. But I don't know. Maybe the motivation factor and Kurt Cignetti's obviously got a heart of a lion. He's not taking no crap from anybody. There is no feel-good stories from him. So I feel guilty picking against an undefeated team, but it's got to end somewhere, and I'm just going to pick it here.
I'm going to take Indiana in this one, but that's 6.5. That's too many points. This is going to come down to the wire. I think Indiana pulls it out. Here's the difference between Indiana and Oklahoma, because Indiana's got a very good defense, kind of like what Oklahoma has. But Indiana's got a offense that can score some points where Oklahoma, they just didn't have that. They did not have that, and it showed towards the end of the game. I think Indiana's got enough that they're going to pull this game out, but it's going to be very close all the way down to the wire. Indiana over Alabama.
I think you better make the Heisman Trophy winner win the game if you're Alabama.
Yeah.
You keep the ball in his hands. He better have 35 plus passing attempts. I think that's the winning way for Alabama. I think you shut down the Indiana's running game and shut down that play action because you can't run off of it. And that's Alabama's recipe there. And just, if he beats you, he beats you. But at that point, that's a Heisman doing Heisman things. But I think I have no hate towards this guy, and I'm so sorry. But I think Mendoza winning the Heisman is one of the flukiest Heisman winners I've ever seen in my life. I do not believe he is the best player in college football. I think he benefited from the team's success, and he's obviously been a part of that. But in my mind, watching him play ball, I do not feel like he's the most electric player on the field. Who would have I replaced him with? I don't know. But I truthfully just don't look at him as a Heisman Trophy winner. I'll tell you who. I think Pavia was the best player on the field, honestly, if I'm being honest. But either way, you put the ball in his hands and make him beat you, and that's how Alabama needs to go about it.
I mean, I agree with you on that point.
Wow.
Next game, it is going to be Ole Miss going against Georgia. This game is the All-State Sugar Bowl. This is in New Orleans in the Superdome. Georgia, a 6.5-point favorite.
I can't control my laughter. If Ole Miss wins this game, Lane Kiffin gets another fat check from LSU, bro. Like, it's crazy. This might be the most unpredictable game out of all of them, in my opinion.
I think you could be right, but where I'm going with this one,
Kirby Smart.
I'm going Ole Miss to win this game.
Oh!
I'm going Ole Miss to beat
That's
Georgia in this one. And I tell you exactly the reason why I'm thinking this. Because
the story.
I've
I've
sat here and I think I've picked against every single team that has ended up playing a team the second time around. We look at the SEC title game. Georgia playing against Alabama. I picked Alabama because I said that Georgia had an Alabama problem in the SEC title game. And they just absolutely blew Alabama out after Alabama won in the regular season.
Yeah, appreciate that pick. That helped me out a little bit.
Oklahoma and Alabama. I picked Oklahoma to beat Alabama in the playoffs after they beat them in the regular season as well.
That's two that I picked the other team. Yeah, thank you so much. You need to keep doing that. Yeah, so you're taking Ole Miss.
Georgia won this matchup in the regular season in a game that Ole Miss
close.
had won for 3 quarters.
It was close.
They played 3 quarters of the game.
How many
and
games
won
has
it.
Georgia played like that, man? They just come around. They come through.
And that's what's got me nervous about this one. I think that could happen again. But I'm not going to I'm going to pick the team that didn't win the first time because it's hard to beat a team twice whenever it's in football.
I'm not dying to death by 1,000 cuts. I am chopping the
100%.
head off the snake.
100%. So give me Ole Miss to win this game.
Yeah, I'll take Georgia. You made this one a little bit easier on me. I'll take the guy that's been there before in the moment over a guy that is filling in. Here's the thing, though. Yeah, I think the story alone helps Ole Miss. I think this whole situation absolutely gives them an edge over Georgia. I think that's exactly what Kirby wants, though. Like, it's so weird how that works. But I just hate that in the playoff, there's always so many SEC versus SEC matchups, man. I would rather see Ole Miss play Tech and Georgia play Oregon. I know that, like, hurts the ranking and whatnot, but, like, I think even as viewership for fans across all conferences would appreciate that more than a regular season rematch. Again. So I don't know. And honestly, just as much as it hurts the SEC because the team's guaranteed to lose, it helps them. So, like, it really, if you're another conference that wants to ban, it honestly hurts you because it guarantees a team into the Final Four here. I don't know. It's a hard one. I will take Georgia to win, but I think this is the most unpredictable game out of all of them. Ole Miss could win it. I think you're right on that. It's just a hard thing to do. The hardest thing to do is to pick against Kirby Smart in a playoff game. I mean, it's hard.
That's true as well. But you want to know an X factor in this game that's going to be huge for Ole Miss.
Kyron Lacey's healthy.
Kyron Lacey is healthy and playing in this game.
I guess that. Let's go. Yeah. I think that's a huge X factor. Here's what I think is the biggest X factor, and that is Zachariah Branch. That dude is he's a problem. So if Ole Miss can keep the ball out of his hands, then Stockton really has to feed who's the tight end there now? I don't know.
Delp.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a fun one, and it's the nightcap on New Year's Day. That is the final playoff game of the quarterfinals. It's in 2 days, right? Thursday.
Yeah.
8:00 Eastern on ESPN. What a triple header we got on New Year's Day, man. It's gonna be fun.
Yep. And one more game to pick. This game does not mean anything whatsoever.
But it's the SEC.
It's Wake Forest going up against Mississippi State. This is on January the 2nd at 8 Eastern time. Mississippi State a 3.5 point favorite in this one.
I have picked SEC every single game, have I not? I have. Every single SEC game. The only SEC team I've picked against was Ole Miss because they were playing Georgia. So I am actually going to go Wake Forest here.
That makes 2 of us because Mississippi State honestly should not be here.
No,
Mississippi State should not be here. They're 5-7.
A team didn't want to take it, or something happened.
The only reason they got in is because Auburn declined. I believe there was another SEC team that was 6-6. They also declined. Let me look.
They have the last bowl game, by the way. That's crazy to think about. They get the actual last bowl game of the season. Them and Arizona SMU get the 8:00 slot on the 2nd to get the last, and then it's just playoff games after that. That's pretty cool.
Auburn declined, and I think Kentucky declined, which allowed Mississippi State to get the bowl game.
Wake Forest, congratulations! And now ACC fans can chant, "We can't hang."
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Anywho's, man, what a show!
All right. Well, we got one more thing to do.
I don't have an upset. Yeah, maybe I do. I don't know.
But we got to see the updated standings.
No, we don't. You gave yourself 10 points for the upset pick of the week?
No.
You closed over 9? You closed 9 games?
Last week's record. And let me
I'm nervous now.
Yeah. So last week I got my upset pick game right, which was Eastern Carolina, which gave me 5. Then I also picked Virginia and Houston correctly, which put me at all right. Let me make sure
That's
that I
7.
got that right.
That's 7. Was you only down by 8 last week? I thought
think
you
I
were
was
down by
only
9.
down. I might have been down by 9. Let me double check.
Yeah, I'm gonna
make
need you to
sure.
double check because I thought I had a cakewalk. I might have to change some of my picks now. I'm a little nervous. No wonder you didn't do the whole I got to make up games tonight. You knew what the record was and I didn't. That's crazy.
Yeah, so that was last week's record.
Dang, dude, that's crazy. What a upset pick. Wow.
So it's a 1-point ball game, man.
You got more losses than me though. That's crazy. Hold that.
By one.
It don't matter.
But do you have an upset pick? And let's see if
I guess I gotta pick one now. I need one. Holy crap.
let's see if there's even multiple games that there could be one.
There is.
There's 1, 2. There's 3. So it's basically 3 games to choose from.
There is. I'm blanking. But I got to pick it because there's no other game that I could really feel good with. But I'm going to get Rice over Texas State. That's the only upset that's in the window that I feel like could happen. So, for instance, I don't see Miami beating Ohio State. I just don't. You, I think, bet it. Or you picked. No, you didn't. You picked them to cover. So I guess you could take it if you're feeling really good. And then the only other game I think that's in the realm is Nebraska over Utah. Absolutely not happening. Dylan Raiola done hit the portal. He's not playing in the bowl game. Like, there's absolutely no shot that's happening. So, is there another game?
Give me Nebraska over Utah.
That's fine. That's not happening. If Utah's a 2-touchdown favorite in a bowl game, there's no shot. If that happens, it's because Utah allowed their players to go to a freaking casino because they're in Las Vegas and they're not locked in, which it is bowl season. It could happen. And if that happens, brother, I'm just going to shake your hand and take you golfing because there's just absolutely nothing I can do about it. Like, whatever, bro. Like, it's fine. But, yeah, give me Rice over Texas State because you shouldn't lose to Food, which is why they're 14.5-point favorites. But I don't even think Rice is supposed to be there. They're 5-7. But it's the Armed Forces Bowl. And who knows? Anything can happen. And there's not another double-digit dog. So, yeah, that's it.
So I've got 2 WTF picks for this week as well.
If I win every single... No, we still got the playoffs. We're good. We're good. Man, you can even take the lead after this week. That's fine. That's fine. Made it interesting.
So I've got 2 WTF picks for this week as well. And it's games that both of us have picked.
I know one of them.
What's one of them?
One of them, if it's a game that we have picked, is going to be... You're probably picking Texas Tech, Oregon.
Texas Tech over Oregon.
Yep. And then if it's a second game that we picked, it's going to be Wake Forest, Mississippi State.
100%.
There it is. Well, Mississippi State being a 3-point, that's our best bet, bro. Best bet of the week. I know we're not ranking with Jake, but if you're taking it, you're going to want to take Wake Forest money line. Best bet of the week.
Let's see. Let me see if I can get his graphic to pull up.
In fact,
no,
let's just double down and take Texas Tech money line because the points is only 2.5. So, yeah. Texas Tech money line. I'm going to put those bets in tonight.
Do we let the folks know how Jake did last week?
No. Yes. That's the only right answer. How did he do last? I'm intrigued. I want to know.
Jake went 1-4 last week.
Yep, that's unfortunate. You know, I joke every week about hedging the bets, and then I don't.
You
realize how good I'd be if I did.
You know what the funny thing is about those picks last week? So
we all felt good about them. You say it every week. When
I did not.
I feel good about these.
I picked against pretty much every single one of them. But the funny thing was the one pick that he got correct was the one that I let him substitute last minute because he had the Vanderbilt game in there. He picked the over LSU Houston.
Oh, and that hit by a mile, dude. That was a crazy game. Yeah.
So that's the only one to hit.
So he needs to be thanking you because he was about to go over. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's what a tough year it's been. It's okay. was still able to have a good Christmas. Oh, by the way, Christmas, new addition to the room. You see that lit up power tee?
Mm-hmm.
Looks so good. It kind of covers up Hendon Hooker though. I need to fix that, but it's fine. Anywho's, right on. What a show, man. We made it. Honestly, getting on and cutting on the computer about an hour and a half ago, I was contemplating just not doing it. Because
I'm not gonna lie. I was waiting for the text that said,
I'm sick.
I'm not coming on tonight.
Need to get some anger out on Call of Duty real quick. Like,
Yeah.
no, it's part of it, man. It's football. I can't win them all, even though we'd love to. But we're officially into the off season of football, into full swing SEC slate and basketball. So I know your world's lit up, and then we're both going to be happy when baseball's back around, and can't wait to see what Inlander has in store for us this year. It's going to be different. I'm not going to expect just total domination. Yes, I am. But we'll see how it goes, man. It's gonna be a fun year still, and may 2026 be good to us. And wish all of our viewers, by the way, everybody watching, still got a lot of people on YouTube watching and Twitter. Wish all y'all the best. Obviously, I hope you had a great Christmas, but Happy New Year to you as well. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve, and spend it with the family. Play some cards. I know it sounds boring, but man, just build those memories. Spend some time. Don't have to travel to have a good time, man. Stay in, have some fun, and have a good time with the family, and cook a turkey or something. I don't know. But have a good time. Yeah, Rhonda says amen. Absolutely. Like, I know how it is. Some of the best New Year's Eve parties we've had was staying at home with the whole family, playing cards. If you wanted to have a drink, you could because you were at home. And just having a good time, man. That's what it's all about. And ringing in the new year the right way. So wish everybody a happy new year.
Yeah, I'm going to have some loaded potato soup tomorrow night. I'm going to watch football, and I'm going to play some cards tomorrow night. That's 100% what I'm going to be doing.
We're shooting guns tomorrow, baby. Pew, pew. So it's going to be fun. No, play cards. What's your okay, real quick. Go-to card game. Folks watching, what's y'all's like go-to card game?
So the one that my family has been playing a lot lately is Sky Joe.
That's Sky Joe. Explain, because I've not heard of it.
All right, so Sky Joe is a game where you have cards that range from -2 all the way up to 12. You get 12 cards that are face down. You will flip 2 cards over to start. Your goal is to have the lowest amount on the board as possible before somebody goes out.
Okay.
So basically, you can just, once you draw a card, you can swap it out there. But if you flip one over, you've got to keep that as far as your deck down here. But you can swap it out as a game.
Yeah, you want it to be the lowest card, though, right? Like, you just want to, okay.
But if you go out first, you must make sure that you win. Otherwise, if somebody else beats you, you add 25 points to your score.
Oh, God. Okay. I like it. But I like it because there's a little skill there. And really, it's just the luck of the draw a card, which most cards are.
Yep.
Matt comes in, says poker. Rhonda says rook and spades. She nails it.
Rook is a very good one.
I prefer spades over rook. Here's a massive reason why. Rook is such a one-person game. Because rook and spades, if you're familiar with the games, it's a four-person card game. You're on teams of 2. Rook is about whoever can bid for that pot, dude. Because if you can, man, at that point, you can almost colorblind somebody to death. Because if you can just make all the which in spades, it would be the spade. But I guess in rook, it would just be the trump card. You make it a certain color. You can kind of just rule. You don't even have to have good cards at that point. I don't know. It just makes it really hard, okay, on your teammate especially. I'm speaking from experience here. But Matt coming in and say poker, I'm gonna say he's meaning Texas Hold'em. So me competitively is Texas Hold'em all the way. But that's not something you really play with. I don't really play with the family as much because of the competitivism that because we never play for free. Dude, if you're playing Texas Hold'em, you're throwing $5 at least, okay? Like, you got to have some skin in the game to throw some bets out there and actually mean it. So poker's a good one. Matt says go fish.
Classic game.
Yeah.
Uno.
There you go. That's what I was gonna say. We do spades. So, like, for the family with everybody around, we do spades. That's a good game. And it really is the luck of the draw of the cards. It's fun. And there's a game within the game of spades and rook, by the way. It's all about catching the little joker or the bird if you're playing rook. And that's always fun. So 21 says, Rhonda, we appreciate the feedback on the games. Gonna have to try some of them, man. I haven't played Go Fishing forever.
Yeah. Another game I haven't played in forever, but I always enjoyed Rummy.
Yes.
I like playing
Skip-Bo?
rummy. Skip-Bo, that's
Phase
another good
10.
one as well. That's Phase 10 was the
Phase
one
10?
I was gonna bring up. If you're gonna stay
Louisiana
up,
Rummy and Phase 10 are kind of the same though, right? Like Phase
Yeah.
10 just is their own cards.
yeah. So if you're gonna play Phase 10, you're pretty much guaranteeing I'm gonna stay up till at least midnight, if not a little bit past
Do you
midnight.
play Phase 10 point wise, or do you only do the phase because we do phases with points?
I do it with the points as well.
There you
Phases
go.
with
That's
the
the only
points.
way to do it. That's the only way
Yeah,
to do it.
that's how you determine a clear winner.
That's right. That's the tiebreaker right there. So if you get stuck with a bunch of skips, you're screwed, my guy.
100%.
No, right on. Well, we wish everybody a happy new year. Thank y'all so much for being tuned in. It hurts today, but the good Lord willing will allow us to wake up in the morning and it will be okay. We're going to hit the portal hard on the defense. I anticipate. And who knows, maybe we'll even get a quarterback or two. I'm looking forward to seeing the changes coming up on the offense and defense. The team in general, defensively, it's almost a guarantee that we're getting a new linebackers coach and secondary coach. So kind of looking forward to seeing who we bring in. And man, we'll bring it all here to you guys every Tuesday night, 8:00 Eastern. And wish you guys nothing but the best. Happy New Year.
Yeah. Go Big R. See you next year.
See you.